NFL Pro Bowl from right here on the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first, let's get you...
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. Alongside Charles Davis.
In recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
Abundance as this Pro Bowl is underway from Orlando, Florida. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is the Rams' Todd Gurley, his 3rd Pro Bowl in 4 seasons. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. The safety Jamal Adams able to break that one up. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run. It's Gurley. The linebacker C.J. Mosley of Baltimore with a tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. A first-time Pro Bowler. Here's James Conner of the Steelers. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. On 1st down, Mahomes. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, in the last year in 2018. It was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs, and Von Miller of the Broncos won it on defense.
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The AFC with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. He may try and run for this. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Mahomes. And he will score. Touchdown AFC. Keenan Allen, 33 yards. And the AFC has taken the lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta, New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense.
Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here now, Roberts. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Back out is the AFC offense. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They begin on the ground here with Connor. The tackle made by the D-end of the Saints, Cameron Jordan. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation. But think about going to Orlando, especially if you've got kids. All the theme parks, all the great things to do, plus not nearly as long a flight no matter where you come from in the United States. I think it's a big deal and a good thing.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown! James Conner, 47 yards. And the AFC is able to widen their advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken about the... The offense for the NFC back out there. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz, too fast to handle. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The left side completion to Jones. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half. That we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Looking to throw is Mahomes, eluding the pressure right. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, Charles, as we peek back to week one, what would you say were the positives for some teams or individuals that you took away?
Well, it started on opening night. Green Bay and their defense, not necessarily Aaron Rodgers and what they did going into Chicago and winning. Kansas City, they picked right up where they left off with Patrick Mahomes. Explosive on offense. How about Baltimore and Lamar Jackson? He's not just a single wing tailback, folks. He's a quarterback. And Tennessee, going into Cleveland, Marcus Mariota, Derrick Henry put up 43 points on the Browns.
15 yards on the play, first down. On first down, it's Gurley. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right, and that game was played out in L.A., in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham, nickname Automatic.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Breeze. Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And the AFC will have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Patrick Mahomes and the AFC ready to go on offense. The lead is theirs here in the third quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. It's the AFC with the football and the lead as we begin quarter number 4. Now Connor. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. Throwing is Mahomes on third. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Now a play fake here on first down. The completion good. This is 21 yards. For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas City, the organization, the team, the city, how well are you set up for future years with that youngster as your quarterback? Not only are the guys on the team excited about it, think about free agents, thinking about where they might want to play. If you're a free agent receiver, you're thinking Kansas City.
23 yards the pickup there. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? Now the NFC going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. Patrick Mahomes. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the AFC adds on to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
This will be taken about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and they'll have to live with that for the rest of the year.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination, though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
Now Brees to the right side and complete to Thomas. And he will score. Touchdown NFC. Michael Thomas, 27 yards. And the NFC able to get a bit closer. Well, we saw that tandem hook up quite a few times during the regular season, didn't we?
We certainly did, and it continues now in the Pro Bowl. You have to know that even if they didn't consciously plan it, you do try and find guys you're familiar with in a game like this.
And this is going to be recovered by the hand seam. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously